everyone and welcome to the November energy update. I just wanted to share with you this morning this absolutely stunning and glorious day. We've got mist behind me in the valley, and our favourite saying around here in Mid Wales is that's dragon's breath. And it's just absolutely gorgeous to see it rising from the valley floor. A beautiful sunshine, some people have had their first frosts, and it really feels like we're, you know, the Celtic New Year of Samhain. It's just Samhain, it's just the wheels of life are turning. And connecting in with Gaia this morning and over the last few days, there's a real mixture of opportunity, a real mixture of opportunity and energies and decisions and choices to be made during this month of November. So the first part of November is full of a really moving, passionate, fiery, let's get up and do something with this kind of energy. It's more of a, you know, keep those plans going, keep those action points in place. So there's a real move too. Although when we have this turning of the seasons and autumn comes and it's an invitation, a first feeling of going into the winter for us, into the northern hemisphere, where it's an invitation really to go into the depths of our being, go to a quieter place. We're not there at this moment in time. We're not there yet. It's like, no, go out, do the thing, make it happen. So if there's things that you haven't quite finished off that you want to before going into later autumn and into winter, then you've got the energies, you've got that fiery energy, you've got that movement energy that's about us for this first part of November. So I'd say the first part of November is go get it, go do the thing, go and see the people, go and create, go and plan, but it's action. It's more like an action type of energy that's there to assist. The middle part of the month, I get it's almost in three. My sense of the month is that it's in three parts. The first part is up to the 17th of November, and that's the energy that I've just spoken to you about now. Then there's this middle bit, which is around the 17th to the 21st, and it goes very complex. Okay, I know the full moon for us is on the 19th, and but it's not just about the full moon energy. This is energy definitely for the month, 17th to the 21st, where it's very complex. There's a lot of complexities in your life that will come up. There's a lot of things that you haven't foreseen coming that will arrive in your life. There's so you were kind of like busy, do, and enjoying that raw energy that's there for the first part, and then this middle bit's almost like, oh, hang on, let's just take a breath, shall we? Let's just, let's calm it down, and let's actually expand our awareness. Let's be a little bit more watchful about what's actually going on in our outer world and what's actually going on our inner world. It's almost like a bit of a combustion type of energy that's there then, alongside aha moments, huge aha moments. That's what that was about. So it's a very, if you can use your breath, I totally and utterly recommend. That's certainly what I'm going to be doing. I've already stuck it in my diary to remind myself just to take some nice, long, deep breaths and to actually investigate my inner world, our inner worlds. You know, how am I reacting to that news? How, you know, instead of reacting straight away, do I just want to take like a breather, just to sort of really sense and feel what's going on in my inner world before I join into anything in the outer world. So it's a real invitation of the soul around that time to actually not join in the dramas and not join in things outside, because it's almost like the complexities of who you are. It's like your soul and your spirit is coming up for recognition, is coming up for more time with you, is coming up for more, I want to say, too. And some of us are very used to listening to those whispers or thunders of the conversation of the soul. And some of us are just learning how to do that and a little less unfamiliar. So use your breath during that time. Take a few deep, longer, slower breaths during that time before you respond to your own thoughts that have arisen and certainly the outer world, because you'll get a much better outcome from whatever it is you join your energies with then. So that's a real invitation from your soul to listen within, rather than opinions from without. Listen within. It's a huge month for the truth is rising. In fact, that's definitely until March this year. It's really going to crack on at a pace. So Guy has been talking about the truth rising, you know, the truth is out, the truth's coming out for many years now actually, but there's sometimes spikes in that energy. There's sort of spikes where it's like, woo, there's a lot of it happening, and then it dies off again, and then it's, oh, lots of it happening. And yeah, this is a month of revealing, so it's definitely a month of revealing, but there's also a sense of surprise with it, like it catches us out, like, you know, we kind of know those things really, and then the truth comes out and it's a confirmation. You know, that's one type of truth coming out. But this, you know, around that time, especially around the 21st, it's like the truth's coming out and you're like, whoa, it's really surprising. It might be a bit confrontational, and it might be, you know, it might knock you off your perch for a little bit there. But because we're getting the heads up, because you're getting a prepared really in a way, that's a fantastic thing, because again, you can take some deep breaths. You know, by taking breaths that are longer and calmer and just at a slower pace, it tells the body to come out of anxiety. It tells the body to come out of fight and flight. It says, oh, we're actually safe, we're comfortable enough to have a look at this before we respond. So I definitely recommend that over that time. I'm going to put another video up around then for more detail of what's coming after that, because I really feel that we're going to have our hands full in this first part. But the latter part of November is all about your soul chat. It's almost like this is the active outer body, get going, moving, like woo stuff. And then that middle aspect is a confluence of different energies and alignments, and it's rocking and shocking a little bit, and it's sort of like bringing fresh news. And then the latter part of November is kind of up to you. There's several different energies and alignments coming in at the end of November that gives you a time to really decide and say what it is you want to say. It's a time to voice your truth. But please, because the passionate energy is up as well this month, I really recommend that, sometimes, when things happen in life and like you get some news and it's like, or that passion comes up and you really feel like you want to change the world, change this and that and the other. What I do is I write it all down. I write it all down so it's out of me, so I've fully honoured myself and expressed myself, and I write it all down, and then I'll leave that until the next day. When I know my passions are running and my fire element's up and it's like, but I like to leave it overnight, almost that old adage, why don't you sleep on it before you take that action? And then the next morning I've had enough time usually for the fire to go into more of a glow. And so I can have a look at it again then and see actually with the entirety of my being, does that serve my highest good and the good of this world? To act on that in that way. So it's about honouring that passion and honouring that fire and all that yumminess that's going on in there. But then to actually take some time to reflect before putting it into action. Action is definitely there for this month, for the whole of the month. But the first part of the month's almost like, get jiggy with it. And then there's this complexity in the dates I've said. And then after that, it's very much, okay, when the fire comes up in a spike and it's heightened, or when that news that's a bit of a shock form comes in and you react to it, honour the feelings, emotions of your most humanness. But then just sit with it before you share that with the world in general or another, to see if it's actually within your highest capability and is of your highest worth. So the second half of this month, from the 22nd onwards, the 22nd to the 11th, I'm going to be doing some gatherings. So look out for that if you're interested, because I'm going to be doing an invitation of the soul. And it's about really deciding which way for the rest of that month you want to act, be, portray, and where are you choosing to put your energy? Where do you want life to flourish? Where do you want it to become? In the becoming of your conversation with your own soul, with your own spirit, with your full alignment of mind and body and emotions and your spiritual self. Where are you going to face that? Decide. It's a decision time really at the latter end of this month to decide where you want to put your powers, your focus, your gifts that you're born with. Which area of life, where are you going to actually put that into? Revolution, activism, peaceful warrior, what pathway are you going to actually focus on? Or is it the many? It's a time to actually make some decisions so that your soul power knows what avenue that you're walking upon. So more on that around the 22nd of November from me, if you're interested in that. But if it's a bit topsy-turvy then, that's often because it just needs you to make some decisions. So I'll give you lots more information about that nearer the time. But let's focus now on really enjoying this energy that's there, and go out and do stuff and play and whatever it is you need to do. And then, yeah, just be kind to yourself. Real dollop of kindness, please, during that 17th to the 21st, 22nd of November, where there's huge amounts of energy coming in that will feel absolutely amazing and wonderful and expanded awareness for some. And for others, it's going to feel like we're really bombarded with the general energies of the solar system and the general energies of the world and how the world's reacting to those frequencies. And so we need some preparation there to have some quiet time before responding to the world. You know, in traditional olden times, it was always a time when autumn led into winter that you would do lots more crafts and you would do lots more making things and fixing things. And there's an energy of that coming in, certainly early December. So that's one to maybe gather some things together for any activities like that, where it entices you to lose the outward idea of time and entice you into an activity that is self-based. It's you for you doing something. I mean, you could be making something for somebody else, but it's sort of the coming into present moment and into the now, so your creative forces can take purchase within your bodies and within your earth connection. So it helps you have a physical representation of all that you are, but you're also tapping into creativity in some way. And it's really important at that time of end of November and into December to do things physically with your body. Your body needs to express its magnificence, and so whether that's knitting or poetry or playing music or whatever it needs to be, but it's hyper important, it's really, really, really important to be able to express yourself in a creative way, in some sort of natural creative way. So yeah, if you can get that one organised and lined up so you can do more of that at the end of November, then that helps you to, sometimes when we're doing something really creative that's natural to us, it's easy to us, there's a certain amount of concentration we need to use. So it keeps the mind entertained, if you like, from the concentration point of view, but you can also go into a semi-daydreaming state as well. So the daydreaming state is aligning with spirit. So it's a beautiful combination when you're creating things with your physical self. It's a beautiful combination of being in a restful period at the end of the month when more truths are coming out and lots of changes and different energies are producing different things. So yeah, that's kind of it really from me for the month of November. Now some of you will have seen my video from Matilda, and she's always giving us a bit of heads up and a bit of advice. And I just wanted to add to this video something that she shared with us back in June, July time, that there would be some shortages of supply, which I've mentioned before. And she's saying that's going to be, the timescale of that is going to go on longer. So you'll find sort of almost pockets and spaces in time and place and physical things, whether that's food, whether that's building supplies, whether that's craft supplies, etc., where there's going to be holes in the supply. So what she's saying is the energy's coming in a bit sort of like Morse code in a way. Instead of it coming in as one continuous stream, it's like start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. And in those stop times, it's an invitation for us to go inside, relax, and just stop, so we can reflect and regenerate. But she said because the energy is so strong in that way now, it's actually going to affect the physical side of things. So it's a nice time. I mean, living where we do, we live rurally in mid Wales, so we're always buying extra supplies in for dry goods and things now. it's a natural thing for us to do. You can feel it in your body, but also because we occasionally get snowed in, so it's actually quite a practical option. So she's just suggesting you do that from a practical, helpful, living with ease advice point from her. And she's also talking about disruption in your energy supply with regard to just the electric going off. Originally she was talking in the UK for like half a day, in the States a couple of days, in Canada about 3 days. She's saying those time frames may be a bit longer now. So if you're on a supply that's just electric, you might want to actually make sure you've got, I don't know, one of those like inexpensive really 2-ring gas stove or something, so that you can make your cups of tea or your supplies. This is not to induce any fear. What I love about Matilda is anything that she's given us before, her intention is to help and to get us ready so that it's not such a big, huge surprise, and we can navigate those waters of choppiness with ease, you know, and we can help others as well. You know, it's great. But this might be absolute nonsense to some of you, and you'll be like, Carol, I got all this stuff in and it's never happened to me. Oh, fantastic. You know, I hope you have lots of pleasure over the winter using it all up. But for some, and it's already started happening over the last few months, I'm having quite a lot of reports of this actually being true. So for lots of people in lots of sort of kind of small ways, and 1 or 2 where it's actually been really pivotal and helped their business keep going, etc. So yeah, I just thought I'd share that again, as it's nice and with ease. Maybe it's time to get a little bit prepared for choppier waters over the winter, potentials. And remember, I'm always given that vision at the moment of having choppy waters, we're all holding on in that boat, and then opening up to a magnificent, calm, flat lake of waters of the heart, where we have time just to go to shore, rest, replenish and regenerate. So there's lots of that coming up over the winter too. So it's a bit of both. So if we're prepared for both, we can then really enjoy the ride. My love to you. Mwah. Soul to soul. Remember the love, guys. You know, the most important thing in this world is love. So love yourself, whatever you're doing. Love yourself as much as you possibly can. Lots of love to you. Bye for now.